Okay, so what we did was we wrote some notes, as I mentioned. Okay, on a new government within an existing government, a new community within an existing community. It's not originally my idea. I did borrow it from a man called Dr. Muhammad Ali, or Ali Muhammad, yeah, from the USA. He was talking about it with a few others, had some suggestions, okay, for a new government within an existing government and a new community within an existing community. I think he was trying to develop it for the black community over there, and he said he's going to do it and all this sort of stuff, and he started some things, but I haven't seen any video evidence of him actually fulfilling it. Haven't seen anything further. So yeah, I borrowed it, and I'm working on it, developing it, right? Got to iron it all. Got to write it all down and then iron it out. You know, it's got to be feasible, right? It's got to be workable, etc. Okay, so it's basically a new government within the existing government, or an existing government, a new community within an existing community. Again, in an idea borrowed, adopted and adapted, being developed first through writing, planning, then finally putting it into effect. Covering the need that one first needs to know all about how a government runs by learning all about how a correct government or a current government structure already structured, set in place and run effectively, like the government here. Got to look at that, yeah, and basically duplicate that by having experts as friends. Gathering a whole lot of experts as friends, ones that, or interest, yeah, I'd rather say expert friends rather than those interested in this new government, new community idea. Okay, we go back there again, back to it. Okay, covering the need that one needs to know all about how a government runs by learning all about how a current government structure is already structured, right, set in place, and then effectively run. Okay, gathering experts as friends or interested in this new government, new community idea that will hopefully bring a unique, better type of government and community within existing ones. Morals, rules, ethics, standards must be created, set in place, and people encouraged to come to an agreement, to agree to possible periodic testing for the benefit of this new plan in order for it to grow and be effective. If all are in agreement in thought and then all can be verified, united, having one mind, united in agreement. Throughout this video we will give examples proven to have worked over the centuries but ignored or simply not wanted, as a certain party or parties are against unification. They don't want to see this prevalent, therefore will do all to prevent that. They've already, apparently they've done that over the centuries, right? They don't want people to be unified, no unification. Okay, so they'll send someone in there to break that up. Some factions should be we'll read that again. Some factors should be and are recommended greatly to be left out, not included in this plan, and should be proven to be decadent. Right? Of decadence, you have to prove it. In other words, leading all to decadence, arguments, quarrels that cause separation, division, war, conflict, disagreement, and problems. These can be in practice. Like you got to tolerate them because they're out there within this other existing government. You're a new government within an existing government, a new community within an existing community. So this outside structure will still have all those things, right? That people will practice, that they'll refuse to drop or change, right? Okay, they won't let go of it. So not much you can do about it. But if you have a new government, right, and a new community idea, you need to keep those out. Okay, if you do your personal research and prove that they are of decadence, they're decadent, they cause decadency, if that's the word, problems, okay, and etc. But again, you have to prove it. Okay, verify it, establish the facts, let the evidence prove itself, and so forth. These can still be in practice, but outside the main new government, this new idea, new community that we're creating, the people for it can continue to, they can contribute to the new government. This helps it grow, creating resources, right, within the existing government, and new community ideas and resources that will greatly help that to grow and prosper. But because of their ideas and their proven decadence of the ideas decadence, proven to have happened through them over the centuries by recognised experts, and don't have to remain in the outer circle. Okay, it's kind of confusing here, but what we're going to do is going to explain how it came to be. Like we just woke up the other day, sort of thing, and realised, hey, that's a similar structure that a certain religious order or belief system have actually stated in their texts. This is what we're recording from the top of our head. We'll have to go review that, do personal research on that. We compare our new government idea, our new government, new community idea, to the believed ancient Jewish concept of the kingdom of God, what it's actually like, how it's built, how it is structured, and the inner temple court, the outer and the inner court, inner temple court and the outer temple court. In the inner court, certain people united in both mind, heart, and spirit, okay, maybe the chosen, are all in agreement with each other, etc. Okay, whereas the ones on the outer court, okay, they're invited to be part of that temple. They're part of that temple, but because they're not the chosen, they're not included in the inner temple, right? Okay. So they're dwelling on the outside, but they can never be on the inside. They're on the outer court, but they can never be in the inner court. Okay, because of different reasons. Yeah, they're not the chosen, etc. Okay. And all will agree to a weekly or monthly test, which cannot be defeated. It's a lie detector, but it's better than your common lie detector. You can't fool it, I know, because I've tried it. Okay, and got caught out and realised through that personal experience you can't defeat it because these people are too highly trained, and the way it's structured, it's like, wow, yeah, I think it's magnificent. As I said, I got caught out when they asked me a question about something, and I said, yeah, I did that this morning, and they put me on that test, right, and they proved, I knew I was lying, right, okay, to be honest, I knew I was lying, but yeah, this machine, the system detected it and proved that I had lied. Okay, so people are put to this test, this lie detector test, to see if they're hiding something, maybe, they're lying about something, they're being dishonest, because this new government, new community idea is all based on unity, agreement, honesty, okay, and keeping the spies and the Judases out, basically. Okay, that will get in there and will try to destroy it. Okay, that's what happens. Okay, yeah, this test they cannot defeat as many can the alternative tests, such as the common lie detector, as it has been proven unbeatable through my own personal experience of it, followed later by the communists. That's the name just given to those of that community. Personal experiences of it. Okay, so they can say, yeah, well, this founder is right. Okay, this creator of this new government, new community is not telling a lie, right? We went on this test of this machine. We went on this test, right? And we deliberately lied, and it verified that we were lying. And we tried to beat it, but no matter how much we tried, we couldn't fool it. We couldn't beat it. Okay. Also, we have looked at the biblical narrative on the people who had supposedly gathered into one place in the desert region of Sumer or Shinar, spoke one language, were unified in mind, heart, spirit, and body to create a great tower to the sky, known as the Tower of Babel, which a certain group, a pantheon of gods, didn't like this idea, perhaps then them reaching their dwellings in the heavens, and saw that as a potential threat to them somehow. Right, if they can do that, they can do anything and everything, so we've got to stop them, right, suppress them. So they decided to get together and they toppled their construction, and in order to stop them from being of one mind and united, working together, so they gave them multiple languages to baffle or confuse them all, again suppressing work on the tower, and then they scattered them all over the planet. Also, we have looked at historical information on a penal system method that worked on convicted prisoners psychologically and scared them into good behaviour, and produced greater rehabilitation, reformation in results. It tricked them psychologically, became non-offenders, in other words, they didn't go back to jail, as most do, thereby reducing reoffending by those prisoners that technique was tested on. Okay. It is extremely important that there is a sole founder who is the head, who is fully trusted, right? Verbally, visually, physically, etc. They can see the results coming from this founder, this creator of this new government, this new community, who has 3 fully 100% or more trusted advisors, okay, and they're subject to those weekly, periodical, or monthly tests to see if they are hiding something, if they are honest, that they're still in agreement, etc., etc. And a defence force, or defence force, hired especially to protect and enforce set morals, ethics, standards, laws, rules. All members of a new government within an existing government, and a new community within an existing community. The founders and the 3 must be honest, fair, just as representatives of this unique plan. The top structure of a great skyscraper must be as sound as the concrete foundation it is set in, right? And the framework must be good and solid. Okay. All communities must meet at some set date, and discuss and agree on all morals, ethics, standards, rules, laws, etc. in order for it to work out and stand, and that new government and new community to develop and grow, okay, succeed and grow. Okay, and everyone has the right to express their opinion, to say what they want to say. Yeah. For all must be united or unified, having one mind, one heart, one spirit, one body, not by mere verbal but visual put into effect. It is not about taking over or overpowering an existing government through a new government, but to create a better one within an existing government or an existing community that overtakes all. Okay, it's not about a community that overtakes all other communities or ridding all of them, but a better working community within existing communities. Decadence and all types of division, segregation, separation, institutions or institutes that push that sort of thing, okay, strictly forbidden, kept outside. Okay, outside of the inner court, they're in the outer court. Okay, as we explained earlier. Evidence that certain factions have caused decadence, etc., over the centuries will be made evident. Okay, go to personal research and prove that these certain elements actually do that. As a former, well, I think he's still the president of a certain country stated, and that's why he tried to keep it out of his country, and certain other things. Okay, we'll bring you that. We'll do that research and we'll bring you those results, sources, links to those sources, etc. The evidence, the established facts. Okay, we'll find the established facts, proofs, so they'll be made visible, made available to anyone interested in that. Okay, this is enforced, right, totally for the growth of the new government within an existing government, the new community within a existing community. Okay, by that we mean it's not like martial law. You don't go around beating everybody up, cracking them on here with batons and tear gas and all that sort of stuff, right? It's enforced, fairly, fair justice, etc., right? For the betterment and growth of this idea. Everyone should have access to free mental health benefits, etc. All should be regarded and treated as human beings, regardless of race, creed, colour, beliefs, or sexual preferences. But if that involves decadence, acts of decadence, well, it's not wanted in that new government, new community idea. Those proven decadent should be kept out of the inner court and totally isolated in the outer court. Right? They can still have association with the inner court, but they'll never be part of it. Okay, but they can contribute to it, resources, ideas, etc. Okay, until they like one mind, one body, one spirit, in agreement with the inner court. Okay, and it has to be like a proven change, right? And they'll go through those periodic tests, okay, to see if they're not playing games, etc. They're trying to bring that in, and causing those problems later on. Okay, those who don't want to be united in mind, body, spirit have no place in the inner court. Those who don't like and want to be united in agreement with all set policies won't be included in the inner court and will remain in the outer court. All of the inner will be subject to weekly, monthly testing to determine honesty, loyalty levels. This is a must. This will keep the decadents, the dishonest out, the Judases, the spies. If a person violates any of these set policies, they will be dealt with fairly and justly. A punishment is one deserving of the crime. No violations will be tolerated. Okay, can't really see this, but it says something like no violations will be tolerated. Immediate removal of that person or persons may be subject to permanent banning from our new government and new community. Okay, it's great. It's a great opportunity for all to live in total peace and harmony without worry of racism, segregation, scaremongering, threat, ridicule, etc. Everyone has the right to express themselves. Okay, as long as they are mature about it, keep a civil tongue, etc. In order for it to really grow. Infrastructure plan, got an infrastructure plan. Still working on that one. We must befriend, encourage those experts who are fully qualified and produce desired results. Desired results that we really want. Like they create resources. They know what they profess what they're talking about. They got the qualifications. They profess what they're talking about, and they can actually like put that into action. Okay, and it can be seen visibly. Okay, so they will be recognised as people who not only say it, but they can do it. Okay. So these people get their rewards as deserved, right? They're not set in a situation they're like, because they're experts, okay, they are set, on a higher level, higher regard, I suppose, because they're experts, right? And they're the ones that bring their ideas and create resources which help this new government community plan grow, right? Okay, but everyone, if you can understand this, everyone is treated equal, as said earlier, regardless of sex, colour, race, creed, etc. But there is another that we decided to keep out because it causes division, segregation, scaremongering, etc., etc. But unless that system is of one mindset and everyone agrees upon it, right? They look at it, do their personal research, separate the truth from the fantasies, and come up with this pure version of it, right? There's no problems with it, right? There's no, as I said, no separation, no segregation, no arguments over it. Then it'll remain, okay, in a court. If not, well, unfortunately, it has to be outside in the outer court, right? Because we don't want, that sort of thing happening. So we have to go and prove that this type of ideal actually does all that, and bring it to you, establish the facts, etc., and bring it to you so you can see it for yourself.